Guys and girls, my name's Dan. Welcome back to The Forge. In this episode, we are going to be revisiting the springbow. Been a while since we've seen the springbow, and I had attempted to try and make this video a couple of times before. Just wasn't very happy with it. The results weren't very good. We'll talk a bit about that as we go through the video, but enjoy what I've done. I'm very happy with the results, and hopefully you like it. See you in a bit. As you can see, I've invested in some laser cuts. I think they look great. Version 2 had these side plates on it, which I was going to try something slightly different with, and I think I might move back over to that when we do some modifications to this one. But it looked a bit too pew-pew, if you get what I mean. And that's not what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for a toy that looks like a crossbow, not something else. This is better, but it's not right. I'm just going to quickly talk about some of the stuff, not loads, just a bit, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do to improve it. It's too front end heavy, and also there's some issues here with geometry with this front hole where the spring's attached to on the limb, for want of a better word, and I'm also worried about the wood. I think where I've had these laser cuts made, I've strengthened up the trigger and round the handle and all that, but all I've done is ended up just shifting the breaking point somewhere up here or somewhere round by the springs. Now, I think I have a way of solving that problem because I've taken some inspiration from Jörg Sprav over on the Slingshot channel. I went to the hardware store and bought some 18mm plywood. We're going to chop this in half, glue it together, and then we're going to basically router out those bits that we routed out before, stick it onto this one, and do a few other bits and bobs, and hopefully end up with something that is super strong. it's safe to say it takes me a couple of attempts to get something right, but this looks awesome. I'm really pleased with this. We made some serious changes to that previous design and also changes on the first design. I'll go quickly over some of the bits that we've done and then we'll get on with making the trigger and then we can have a test fire. Here it is in all its glory. First thing is change the springs out, and one of the things I've done is I've made these tabs that slot over the actual limbs. I don't have a better name for them, which is cool. I've moved the barrel around ever so slightly. We've made this new front end much lighter, much nicer looking. It looks really cool. It actually looks like some sort of proper, for want of a better word, rifle. And we've then put this back mount on. That looks really cool as well. I'm really pleased with how all of that's come out. I will be gluing this on, but we need to get the trigger mechanism in and then get this a bit more solid here before I can do that. Plywood, obviously, to reinforce it a bit more. I have changed the springs. There are another set of springs here that are longer. These ones here, they are very strong. These might have come off a trampoline, actually. This is where the inspiration came for this. Obviously get those on there, and these are a little bit longer, so I might end up transferring from these to these, but we'll see. Yeah, so let's get on with the trigger and I'll see you in a minute. Here we are. It's all together and it kind of works. And we're in exactly the same position as we were when I made the other spring bow, except from this is much better made. The trigger works, needs a bit of adjustment. I'm going to sort that. The springs work, and these tighter springs that I have are better, but the issue is now that in order to get the springs to stretch far enough, I'm deforming the springs and they aren't working the same way that they were working before. So if I use the original springs that I had from the first video, they're too weak and they basically, there's not enough draw on this one. So we're gonna have to try a different method. And I'm hoping this is the answer. This is surgical tubing. It's kind of rubber. It's very similar to the stuff that they put on some slingshots, except from it's a little bit smaller. I'm hoping to be able to make like 2 muscles that go either side of the spring bow, replacing the springs. I feel like this is a little bit not what I was trying to do, but we're here now. Let's give it a go. Let's see if we can make this thing work. am stoked with the rubber. It's worked super well. Now I would like to explore that a bit more, maybe change the thickness, change the type of rubber and so on and so forth, but that's for another episode. But this looks so much better, it feels better, and it sort of works pretty good now. So there are a few more bits that need doing, a small modification and some beautification, which I'm going to do now, and then I'll show you some close-ups and we'll fire it a couple of times. So this is the piece that runs up the barrel, and I've put a little neodymium magnet in there just to hold it on. I think it's one of the reasons why we're losing some energy is because this isn't pushing it up to speed, because it's rolling around loosely inside the barrel. So we'll see if that makes anything any better. Right, I've also used a little bit of multi-purpose grease on the slides on the barrel and also inside the barrel, just to try and help get rid of some of that friction. I put this spring on the front here to help dampen the impact from the slide. It doesn't work 100% great because I think it needs like a little cup or something here just to make sure it always catches it, but we'll do those improvements later. And there you have it, the Springbow Mark V. I think this looks pretty good, even if I do say so myself. I'm very happy with this version. Still got some bugs that need to be worked out from it, but let's get some ball bearings in it and have a bit of a play, and I'll show you what it does, show you how I load it, and then, yeah, we'll talk about what's gonna happen next with this project. I definitely need to make some sort of goat's foot lever jobby in order to cock this, so that will be one thing that we'll make in the future. First thing that we need to do though is we need to push the trigger into the open position. I'm going to slide this up against the leg vise like so. Hold the trigger up and then lock her in place nicely like this. I am very happy with this. It turned out amazing. It looks great, it works really well. The upgrade to the rubber bands has made a massive difference to this project, and it's something that I want to continue working on. So I've got a few ideas of what I'd like to do. Okay, I would like to upgrade this to some slightly different surgical tubing because I think I'll get more performance out of this stuff if I go for something slightly bigger and maybe modify the slide as well. At some point I think I might want to actually change the barrel and see if we can try like a trough and then so that we can lay things in it like actual arrows maybe. I need to sort this buffer coil out. It's kind of doing its job, however stuff's still getting stuck, which isn't great. The trigger needs a bit of work doing to it, and then all these components need securing in a little bit better. But I do want to work on some slightly different projectiles in the next video. Like I say, I'm going to change this stuff over and I am going to make some bolts for this. If you have any ideas, drop them down in the comments and let me know what you would like to see me do. And then, oh yeah, we also need to make one of those goat foot things so that we can cock this without having to use a leg vise, so we can use it say, messing around in the woods or something. I have loved making this. It's come out awesome, and I hope you enjoyed watching me make it as well. This looks good, and it works really well. Now, I am going to carry on trying to make this even cooler. I am looking for some other project ideas, so if you can think of something that you might like to see me do, similar stupid thing like this, not so much the blacksmithing stuff. I am a blacksmith by trade. That's what I do most of my videos on, but I do enjoy making these crazy ones from time to time. If you did enjoy the video and you'd like to see the next one when we make some projectiles and bits and bobs like that for this, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, because that'll tell you when I make that video, obviously. Like this video, all that good stuff. And then drop down into the description where you'll find some links to my Instagram and my shop and some other bits and bobs like that. I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you later. Bye bye.